High pen, high paper, let's write Tim Anley. That was a terrible, awful thing that happened at that other hearing.
So by not bringing them,
crying because tears.
I'm not crying because of that.
Again,
You're
telephone.
not listening.
You're not listening.
Today, we dive into a courtroom showdown. Two exes return to court expecting to settle property disputes and finalize the sale of their home. But just when things seem routine, boom! The husband drops a bombshell accusation, and this hearing spirals into total chaos. And trust me, what happens next will leave you speechless. You do not want to miss this one.
To FA 45, in re the marriage of Timothy Anley and Rachel Anley. Appearances are we have both parties appearing in person without counsel. We're set here today in this matter for a contempt hearing. We were here previously on November 8th, 2024, in which we had a little bit of a hearing, and the parties were instructed to bring all evidence and information for the court to present here today. At the last hearing, Ms. Anley informed the court that she was prepared to proceed with an accepted offer of the house for November 22nd for tomorrow to sell the house. And she needed Mr. Anley to sign off on everything. And that's why the court scheduled the final hearing for today. Mr. Anley, this is your contempt hearing, and so you have the burden of proof. I'm going to have both parties stand, raise your right hands, be sworn in. Mr. Anley, at the previous hearing, you had indicated that there was a list of property that you stated that you had left at the marital residence, and that either was just left there and you had not yet received, or that Ms. Anley had destroyed and that you wanted compensation for, and you were going to inform the court of that property and of the value that you were seeking. You may begin with your testimony.
Yes, ma'am. After the divorce was final, we came to an agreement that day on everything that was supposed to be surrendered to me, and she agreed on that. Well, being that there was a restraining order or no contact order in place, I had to come to court and get a court date set. It was signed by Commissioner Krupa for 2 days on a Friday and on a Saturday and Sunday to go retrieve my property. And the agreement was she was not to be on the property or on the property when she was supposed to have everything staged in the driveway with all my personal property. And I went out that day, and some of the items were out in the driveway.
The case of Timothy Anley and Rachel Anley in Judge Melissa Mogen's courtroom was nothing short of explosive. What started as a standard property dispute quickly unraveled into a whirlwind of accusations, fraud, forgery, and straight-up destruction of personal property. Rachel claimed Timothy had forged a signature to pocket a financial payout, and let's just say, things escalated fast.
Got what was in the driveway, left, and therefore I couldn't go back the next day because, I mean, she was there, and that was, that was a violation, really. I mean, I couldn't go back. She was there. And to my knowledge, she refused to let me go to the property while she is not there and not have access to anything that was in the home or my personal belongings or my four-wheelers and everything like that, and my pontoon, my chainsaw. I had I got a list here of stuff that was, and I did retrieve a few things, and what was there was damaged and beyond repair. I mean, it was destroyed. The holes drilled through the block of the four-wheeler, the lawnmower. I mean, everything I had was just what I got. We did retrieve that was in the driveway was totally destroyed.
Provide a list of that property to the commissioner or to the court of what you wanted to retrieve?
That list was already included with our divorce hearing. All of my personal tools, all of my personal property, the furniture in the basement.
First, Ms. Hess, formerly known as Ms. Anley, Were you at the property when Mr. Ainley went to retrieve his,
I was in the house, yes.
why were you at the property?
I had nowhere to go. And I had to get his stuff out.
You were specifically told at the hearing with Commissioner Krupa on September 28th, 2023, that you were not to be anywhere on that physical property.
I didn't have a choice.
You did have a choice because Commissioner Krupa said not to be on that physical property, not to be on that residence at all.
I didn't have no idea what time he was supposed to even be coming.
It
Was I supposed to
says,
stay gone all day?
you do,
I didn't
you
know.
did know, and I can tell you right now, you did know because it says pickup times, September 30th, 2023, between 2 PM and 4 PM, and October 1st, 2023, between 2 PM and 4 PM. So you knew exactly when he was going to be there. Exactly.
Leaving his stuff out there, he's
No.
already saying it was damaged.
You just lied to the court. You just lied to
No,
the
I
court.
did not know.
You did know. You did know. That's
He didn't show
physically,
up.
If it need be, I've got two witnesses that came with me with two trailers to load my personal property up. Her and her ex-fiance was out there. Her middle son Dylan was out there. They were all out there. She walked up and down the driveway following me, trying to talk to me. So that's all I gotta say. She was there. She knew the date. She knew the time. I was there about 10 minutes after I think it was I really can't recall the exact time on the
Mr. Ainley,
clock.
I believe she knew the date. I believe she knew the time. She just lied to the court.
Touched anything.
But I
His
don't,
generator.
but
his-
here's the thing. Again, I fully instructed both of you. And I'm gonna guess you don't have pictures or documentation of their condition.
No.
And
it's
so
the same
I'm
way
gonna
he
take
left it.
testimony from both of you, and so far I found you not credible. Right now, what else are you asking for?
Okay, I'm also asking for reimbursement of all of the reinstatement fees that I've had to pay for the mortgage payments and legal fees. The property was really, really close to being foreclosed on. I mean, within days, and I wasn't aware of this. The mortgage is just in my name because Rachel couldn't have her name on anything. She had so many judgments against her. So it's just in my name. The mortgage is through Cross Country Mortgage. I've got.
But here's where it gets even wilder. Someone set fire to belongings in the backyard. Yep, you heard that right. Whether it was an act of pure revenge or a desperate attempt to cover up evidence, the court wasn't having it. Both parties were ordered to present proof at a hearing on November 8th, 2024, but surprise, surprise, compliance issues popped up, adding even more fuel to the fire.
This paper. It is not my signature. And the owner is not Rachel Anley as far as the loan goes, what's on the loan mortgage papers. So she forged my name on this paper to get the payoffs on my personal information.
Who did?
Ainley, please be quiet.
My ex-wife has signed my name multiple times when we were married. I gave her permission to do that when we were married. Nobody else knows my social security number but her. She knows it by heart. And on the November the 5th this year, she signed my name for release of my personal information on my banking information. It's I'm pretty upset about this. I mean, it's like a total breach of my confidentiality and everything else in my personal business. The lady called me yesterday from a title company. Let me get I'm just nervous. A lady called me yesterday from a title company. She said, Mr. Anley, we have a check for dividends for the sale of your property on North Boston Road. I said, a check for what? She said, well, we're closing on that on the 23rd. I said, absolutely not. This is in legal issues right now. I said, no. I said, I'm not getting a check. So anyways, I told her my name was forged to get the payoff and the information on this mortgage. And so she didn't say anything else. She hung up. But from Grasswood Realty, where she refused a $197,000 offer a few months back.
And that is exhibit number 3.
This is not my signature.
And it looks like Timothy Ainley on 11/5/24, and then it's Rachel Ainley on 11/5/24 with social security numbers. That is not your signature.
No, ma'am.
You did not sign that authorization to obtain information.
Absolutely not. This was signed 3 days before we had our court hearing on the 8th of this month when you postponed the court date to today.
I'm going to tell you that I'm looking at the dates and the social security numbers as they are written, and they look exactly like they're written by Miss Ainley. The dates and the social security numbers as written, the 8s are identical.
Oh,
They're the same.
you can call Katie. I'm not the one that signed.
I can call Katie?
Yes, ma'am. I did not sign.
You didn't sign in front of Katie.
I didn't sign at all.
Oh, so somebody forged your name
Ma'am,
too?
I have not signed anything. I was supposed to sign with the title company on Wednesday and I didn't.
Oh, so I have 2 fraudulent transactions here. Somebody forged your name, your
Yes, ma'am.
social security number and yours. That's good. I need to let the district attorney know right now. We have 2 fraudulent transactions done. Not only do we have it for you, Mr. Ainley, but we have it for Mrs. Ainley too.
I mean, you could check signatures even. I don't sign like
I
that.
don't believe that at all.
Okay, that's whatever. It is whatever. Not next day's gonna change it.
If I wouldn't have gotten these letters from these loan companies, from my mortgage company stating that these 5 lenders requested my payoff information, I would have never known that there was any type of fraudulent activity going on at all.
This is not fraudulent.
I'm looking at 22 CV 88, Rachel Ainley versus Timothy Ainley, your injunction request that you filled out. The signatures look almost identical,
Almost.
almost identical.
They're not me, I promise. Forging signatures, risking getting felonies, no, not worth it. I'd walk away from the house before I do that. I'm not stupid.
Almost identical. The signature Rachel Ainley on 22 CV 87, 22 CV 88, Rachel Ainley signature, almost identical.
Almost. It's not
You
me.
can't sign your name the exact same every way. I don't sign my name the exact same every way, Miss Ainley.
I didn't say that. But it wasn't me. I'm not an Anley. I wouldn't sign Anley.
It says Rachel Ainley. Because
Exactly.
you want to know what? Rachel Ainley owns the house, not Rachel Hess. So you have to sign it Rachel
See,
Ainley.
I don't know that. I didn't know that.
Please continue.
But I sent off a loan modification contract yesterday morning through FedEx. We signed them to keep the house afloat, keep from losing it. I'm still continuing to make the payments on the property. If not, I would lose everything, my whole life savings. Anytime my ex-wife has gotten any large amount or large sum of money, it's never spent on what it's supposed to. Bills, kids' bills first. Like I said, about 5 years ago, we were involved in a serious accident, her and I, in Hayward. She got a $40-something thousand settlement, never paid him payment on the house. And then, like I said, I got in some legal trouble back in May. And I was incarcerated in Polk County for a couple months. So I was totally ghosted out of everything. And when I was released and went into a sober living home, I started getting mail after I had my forwarding address to my home now. And I found out that it was going into foreclosure, and I caught it within like 4 or 5 days before it actually was foreclosed on. So I've done everything in my means. I can't do it anymore. I mean, you know, I can't keep paying $1,085 a month child support, a mortgage payment. Plus we have to pay $600 a month at Onyx Sober Living Place. It's an awesome Christian living home. I have to pay $600 a month there. on top of gas and food. And I'm trying to get steady work, and it's like, which this is coming through good too. But anyways, I just can't do it anymore financially. I mean, if it wasn't for God keeping me strong in my mind, I don't know. I would have lost it even worse than what I did back the last year and a half over this divorce. All
right.
I want is what I believe I deserve and what I have invested in the material things that's there now on the property and the home. And that's not even counting the things I've lost over the 17 years being married to her.
Okay, Miss Anley, this is not your time for testimony. You will get time to testify and to provide your own evidence for the court. This is your time to provide or to ask questions of Mr. Anley as it relates to his evidence and his testimony to the court. Do you have questions for Mr. Anley?
Yes, I do.
You may begin.
When did you purchase this stuff? Because a lot of it, you never had when we were married.
And I'm going to state for the record by stuff, you're referring to what he has listed in.
Oh, yeah,
his-
like a DeWalt cordless drill combo. $900.
Rachel did try to move things forward, stating she was ready to sell the house, but Timothy's signature was still needed. The court wasn't about to let this drag on forever. So Judge Mogen laid down the law. November 22nd, 2024 was the final deadline for the sale.
And
His
how
name.
would I do it?
Hi pen, hi paper, let's write Tim Ainley.
And
His
how
name.
would I do it?
Hi pen, hi paper, let's write Tim Ainley.
No,
I'm not blind, I can see.
well,
And
maybe
I've
we should have
taken
someone look at it then.
judicial notice. I've been doing this job a long time. I look at your signature on 2 documents where
Yes.
you've signed.
Look at his.
I have. It's
I
not
don't-
his
It's
signature.
not mine.
This is your signature,
No.
Rachel
Can
Ainley.
you call Katie? I didn't sign.
Then you were not looking to sell this property because this is what it took to sell the
I
property.
can't sign. You told me we couldn't sign
Sign what?
the papers yet.
You didn't sign the papers. This was to try and get a payoff, to try and get the offer.
I've made
what
no
you
attempt to
got.
get payoff. They do. The company does. I make no attempt. I have not made any attempts.
Need payoff, please.
See, it's sincerely Katie, not Rachel. Done. I want,
If either of you put your children in the middle, you are awful parents.
that's why they're not here. That's why I have no witnesses. Because all I had was my kids.
No, you don't. Miss Ainley?
Yes, it was. It was.
You can stop crying because tears,
I'm not crying because of that.
again,
You're
telephone.
not listening.
You're not listening. Stop crying. Stop that. Telephone pictures say 1,000 words. Stop it. This
order
boo-hoo,
what you're gonna-
cry means nothing.
Okay.
See, no tears. Have any proof or any evidence? Because quite honestly, right now, there's nothing in your favor.
I guess not.
Because I fully believe, Mr. Ainley, I truly do believe you walked out with nothing. You could have went anywhere for 2 hours, those 2 days, and you didn't.
Agree.
So, Mr. Ainley, you had these 2 specific times to go get this property, and you went, and she was there, and it set your mind aside, or you lost all track of what you were doing. But you needed to get your property that day. because that's when Commissioner said, get your property. And you didn't pick anything up that day. And then from September 28th, 2023, when you were supposed to get your property, even though you were supposed to get your property that day, she was not supposed to be there. Both of you didn't do what you were told to do from the commissioner. Neither of you did what you were supposed to do. Neither of you do what you're supposed to do. It's a history with both of you. Neither of you do what you're supposed to do. You should have went back. You should have gotten it a whole lot sooner from the date of divorce, because the date of divorce was way back, March 6, 2023, and it's now November 21st, 2024. There's absolutely no guarantee that anything is there and anything is in its proper order or condition, because it makes it very hard when we're here in November 21st, 2024, when this divorce was March of 2023. And I can't go back and say, okay, now what tools did you really have during the marriage? In this divorce, it's hard to find credibility. And I'm awarding $15,000 because I do believe that is a penalty, because I do fully believe that Ms. Anley fraudulently signed his name. So there is a total of $64,368.71.
64,000 what?
$64,368.71. Turns over to Mr.
How do I
Anley.
get, how is that fair to me and the kids?
How is it fair? Because I fully believe you signed
I
his
did
name.
not.
I
What do I
fully
have to do to
believe,
prove it?
Ms. Anley, I fully believe that you have destroyed his property,
I
that
did
you
not.
have burned his property, that you have sold his property, that you have thrown away his property, that you have done everything to keep him from having his property, that I believe that you have done everything.
And speaking of Judge Mogen, oh boy, she did not hold back. She made it crystal clear that forgery, dishonesty, and reckless destruction wouldn't fly in her courtroom. The frustration? Palpable. The strict court orders? Non-negotiable. The lies? She called them out one by one, making sure accountability was served.
He is ordered to only take his property, and that would be anything that is on the list that you have. He is not to remove anything else but anything on that list.
I will make sure I have a witness with me and take pictures, ma'am.
All right, so you can go tomorrow, and you have all day if you want.
One more question, Your Honor. The amount that I was awarded, the $64,368.71, if she closes on that property, is that mortgage company that's buying the house or whatever, they have to cut me a check for that
Yes,
amount
they do.
before I can
Yes,
close on
they
it?
have to cut.
If it closes tomorrow, Your Honor, I'll sign whatever needs to sign. That's not going to slow up any
You
closing.
can contact them, and the court will prepare an order here today, and I will have it done here shortly.
Yes, ma'am.
And then it can be signed, and Mr. Ainley, you can come and retrieve it by 4:30 PM, and you can make sure that the company has it.
Yes, ma'am.
All right?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Then we are adjourned.
Thank you.
And that wraps up today's case. What do you think? Was the judge's reaction justified, or was there more to the story? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below.